oh my God, Diddy is going to prison 2025. If not at the end of 2025, then at the beginning of 2026. Legal experts say if he takes a plea deal, it may be at the beginning of 2025 because the evidence the feds have on Diddy is very strong. Now, CNN recently reported that New York City is preparing to bring witnesses and victims in front of the grand jury. So feds have a thorough case. They want to make sure that their case is bulletproof. Now, they're not only focusing on the allegations from women against Diddy. The federal government is more focused on the trafficking, right, and racketeering, which is organized crime, bribery, drugs. And you know, when you think of RICO, and I'm going to put the definition of it on the screen. When you think of racketeering, ask yourself, how many powerful people will Diddy take down with him? And I think he's taking some of them might surprise us, to be quite honest. And some of them are shaking in their boots. And there's a reason why Diddy hasn't called some of them out, because they may be helping him behind the scenes, right? They might be able to get away with it state level. Like, okay, we know some people in New York City, we can get away with some crimes in New York City. But when the feds raided his two homes, California and Florida, it was over for Diddy. And it's not only over because of the allegations in Cassie's lawsuits. What we saw in that video that CNN, published of Diddy attacking Cassie in that hotel room, or the other women that have brought civil lawsuits against Diddy. There's actually an underbelly of crime that is disgusting, that is being alleged that Diddy did, right? We know Diddy is rich from his music and his other business ventures, such as, he was involved in Hennessy and the other, businesses. But where does the majority of Diddy's money come from? It may not be music. It may not be the businesses we thought he was engaging in. Cassie knows a lot of this stuff, though she didn't put it in her lawsuit. The reason why Cassie only put the things we saw in her lawsuit, those were crimes against her, right? She needed Diddy to pay her for her pain and suffering. But there are other crimes against society that Diddy did. And this is what the federal government wants from Diddy. And by the way, when that video was released by CNN, Diddy was attacking Cassie in the Intercontinental Hotel in California. The Los Angeles DA said, I'm sorry, we can't press charges against him because the statute of limitations have expired, which is 5 years. So that incident happened 2016. The statute of limitation expired 2021. That was 5 years. And people are like, oh my God, he gets away again. No, he's not at the federal level. You see, when it comes to sex offenses and trafficking offenses, there are no statute of limitations at the federal level. So the feds have time on their side. Diddy does not. And even if Diddy enters a plea deal, it's not like he's gonna walk away. He still has to serve some time in prison. A plea deal will simply reduce the time, but the guy is going to prison. I mean, there's no but, if, or what. And what we're going to see in the next coming weeks is witnesses that are going to be subpoenaed. They're actually going to be subpoenaed according to CNN. Witnesses going in front of the grand jury. Okay? A few things I wanted to clarify. CNN reported that the federal government are ready to bring both witnesses and victims in front of the grand jury, that is the New York City grand jury. So what's going to happen is, and by the way, they believe their case is strong. They made sure, according to CNN, they were thorough and their case is bulletproof. Diddy is going to prison. Okay? So witnesses and victims are going to be subpoenaed to go in front of the grand jury. The grand jury gets to review the evidence presented by the prosecution. This is where the grand jury gets to decide if they should indict Diddy. They're going to indict Diddy. The evidence is that strong. So after that, there's going to be arraignment. This is where Diddy is formally charged and he gets to enter a plea, guilty or not guilty. I believe Diddy is going to plead not guilty. Then the next step is they're going to go for pre-trial motions. This is where both the defense, Diddy's lawyers, Diddy's team, Diddy's side, and the prosecution, which is the feds, file motions to set boundaries for their trial. This would include charges to dismiss, evidence that should not be brought into trial. So what evidence can be suppressed, right? You know, when you look at cases or trials rather, there's certain evidence that just never makes it into trial. This is where they decide to do that. And this is also the time where Diddy can request for a change of venue. Why? If he decides that New York City may not be favorable to him, the outcome of the trial because of jury selection in New York City, but where? Miami? New York is the most favorable city for Diddy. He's from New York. Okay, so after they're done with the pre-trial motions, then they start preparing for the trial. So both sides, defense, Diddy's side, and prosecution, federal side, they then gather evidence, interview witnesses, and then they form strategies on Diddy's side how they're going to defend Diddy and make sure he walks away and doesn't go to prison. And the prosecution, the feds, they want to make sure Diddy goes to prison. Then the trial will start. In my opinion, there will never be a trial. It is right before the trial when Diddy's team is going to go to the prosecution with a deal. What kind of deal? Well, you see, to us, Diddy is the big guy. To us, Diddy was a billionaire, which is a hell lot of money. But there are more powerful people that Diddy was working with, especially when it comes to racketeering or what they call RICO, which is organized crime, bribery, trafficking, okay? There are a lot more things than what we saw in Cassie's lawsuit and the many other civil cases against Diddy. See, Diddy's not worried about the civil cases. He can pay those people to go away. It's this case. It's the criminal part of his offenses that he's worried about. Now, Cassie is scary for Diddy. You know why? Because Cassie knows about the racketeering that Diddy may allegedly been involved in. And not only that, who was involved with Diddy? So we need Cassie to be alive. I hope the feds have given Cassie the security she needs. Remember when Cassie originally filed her lawsuit in November, Diddy denied everything in that lawsuit. Now look what happened. When CNN published that video, when we saw the evidence with our own eyes, Diddy had no choice but to come there and give a fake apology. Cassie was with Diddy for 10 years. She knows a lot. Not only about what he did to her, what he did to other people, and his shady business practices. And not only does she know that, she knows who Diddy did it with. So ask yourself, who are the other rappers that did business with Diddy, that Diddy may take down with him if they don't help him, if they don't use their connections to help him? I think Beyonce is shaking in her cowboy boots. And we like Beyonce, but girl, take care of your business. Take care of your kids, take care of your business, because it's not like Jay-Z is a saint anyway. I mean, Beyonce has helped Jay-Z's image. I'm not saying Jay-Z did anything similar to Diddy, But I don't think Jay-Z is clean either. So by 2025, according to legal experts, Diddy is going to be in prison. So keep your eyes open for indictments. It's never going to go to trial, ever. Diddy's going to take a plea deal because trial will expose a lot of things and a lot of people, not just people in the music industry, politicians, businessmen. This is, you might actually, you know what we might actually find out? We might find out that Diddy is actually the small guy in this whole thing. Can you imagine how big this thing might just be? But anyway, guys, what do you think? Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment until our next video. Bye.